Yeah, there's no way around this one. It's probably gonna get a little gross. Hey there, this episode of Some Gadget Guy is gonna get a little bit weird, but it's brought to you by viewers like you. Yes, you! All of the incredible people sharing content across social media and the amazing generosity of my patrons at patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. More info on those amazing nerds later in the video. I am not trying to be a health tech channel. I'm not even trying to be like a Dr. Pimple Popper or anything like that. But talking about health gadgets, the human body is pretty gross. BeBird wants to make your ears a little less gross, and I love that. They sent over the EarSight Pro and the EarSight Complete for me to test drive and share my thoughts. I'm an audio guy by trade. I make a lot of money on my ears, and I've been trying to keep up conversations about hearing health on this channel. Both EarSight products aim to do something really practical. Combine ear cleaning tools with a wireless camera that you can see on your phone. The major difference between the Pro and the Complete: the Pro is a complete kit designed for one person. The Complete is a hub of cleaning tools for a family of users. One person, multiple people. You would not want to share this. You don't have to share the sensitive parts because everyone in your family would have their own little pod of cleaning tools. Now, both of these function very similarly. There's a little camera on a stick. Now, the cleaner has a built-in Wi-Fi radio that connects directly to your phone or tablet and transmits a real-time video feed. Then, in front of the camera, we can attach little tools or tweezers or picks or scoops to help you clean out the issue you might be having. On the Pro, the tweezers are built in and you squeeze this handle to close the tweezers or grab onto something, or you can close the tweezers and cap these little picks with some kind of soft attachment to do other kinds of work. Probably TMI, but for me, the basic scoop has been kind of perfect for my needs. The camera for the Complete is a little bit simpler on its own. Things like tweezers are separate. We can take this little attachment, add it to the camera module, and then put that little pick right on the top, and then when we squeeze, we've got something that can do a little bit of grabbing. Again, we're trying to minimize how much we might share with other people. Everything should be detachable and unique to that individual family member and easily cleaned. A really simple endoscopic camera if you just want to take a peek, or you can fix an attachment if you need to get some work done in your ear canal. The camera quality is really sharp. It's a tiny little contraption, but decently high resolution with a lamp to make sure you can see things clearly. Now, you gotta be really careful with ear stuff. I'm anxious anytime something pushes past the first bend in my ears. I had a rupture in this ear because of some water that built up when I was a kid, and that pressure popped my tympanic membrane. I had tons of ear infections as a kid, so I have a lot of scar tissue built up, and I also have psoriasis, and those skin flare-ups can cause additional scarring to creep into my ear canal. I work professionally in audio, so I work with a fancy ear doctor to help me out, and I'm usually on a 6-month schedule, somewhere in that ballpark, just for someone to take a peek inside and occasionally help clear up issues. I'm in my 40s and I'm still prone to ear infections, especially when I switch earbuds a lot for reviews. The last couple months, as issues have crept up, I've been able to just pop in and take a peek. I can see what's irritated or if there's buildup. Am I on track for another infection, or is this something that's gonna calm down on its own? Maybe this situation is something I need to see my fancy ear doctor about. Or maybe this is a situation I can take care of myself. Now, I don't think the goal here should be scrape your ears totally clean every day. For many people, the ear should be a self-cleaning part of your body, and a little wax in there, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You should absolutely never insert a Q-tip into the ear canal. If you build up some pressure or pack that earwax too deep, that's a recipe for disaster. I hope you're hearing me on this. That's not a lesson you want to learn the hard way. But you might be managing a household of health and first aid, right? A well-stocked home should have Band-Aids, some basic pain medications, stock up on cleaners and disinfectants. You might have some gadgets like a scale to weigh yourself in the morning, a thermometer to see if you're running a fever, maybe even something like a finger tester for blood oxygen, or you have your own blood pressure cuff. As you stock up and add different tools for your family, adding a little ear camera, I think that's a good one to put on the list. Someone in your house is having an issue. You connect your phone or tablet over Wi-Fi, you take a quick peek, maybe clean out a small issue, or you've got better information to go and see your doctor if it's something more serious. The app is really straightforward, just a camera view and an orientation toggle if you're right-handed or left-handed, going right ear or left ear. A couple modes you can play with, but really the main camera view is what I rely on the most. And then you can take some photos, like I said, really helpful to share with a doctor if the problem's more serious. This is so much handier than a traditional otoscope. Right now, you can get some great medical hardware very inexpensively, but I have a hard time looking in my own ear that way. The app has been nicely stable, but that does reinforce my point that people really need to go slow using stuff like this. It's not often, but I've had a couple little signal stutters. Shouldn't be too surprising giving a wireless video feed, but none of them were bad. You just don't want to be committing to an action like trying to push deeper into your ear. You're going too quickly, then a stutter happens. That's not going to be great. Also, this has been a bigger deal to me lately. Gadgets that depend on apps. This is hardware that won't work without some kind of app on a phone or tablet, right? So I'm hoping the folks at BeBird will take the step to allow for direct downloads. On the BeBird site, you can scan a QR code and then get a list, and when you click on Android, it takes you to the Google Play Store. For us Android users, I hope they'll just let us grab the APK directly and save it somewhere. I don't expect the company to suddenly vanish, but I'd like that extra peace of mind that I can save the app somewhere, I can always reference it, and without having to go through extra steps to get it. And also, as a note for maybe future versions of this idea, I think the charging is just a little silly. This isn't bad, it's not a deal breaker, but the solo version has this nice little base station where you can keep all of the extra little tools and attachments, and the camera sits in vertically. It kind of looks like a thick pen. But to charge it, you remove it and then plug a cable into the bottom of the camera. Nothing happens with this little base station. Similarly, the home multi-user version has this awesome base station. It has tools under a cap, and it has these individual pods that stick on with magnets, and the base, it'll rotate. And then there's a spring mount to pop the camera out. This is all really well designed, but again, to charge it, you take the camera out of the base station and you plug in a cable. So many of our gadgets, our other health and grooming gadgets, when they have a base station, we kind of expect the base will also charge the gadget. My electric toothbrush and my electric shaver. You set them down on the base, and then you know they'll be charged when you need them again. Something like the BeBird for a next generation model, I think it would be cool if the base station could charge the camera and maybe give you some kind of indicator that it's fully charged, that it's ready to go when you need it. You don't have to wait and plug it in. In your household, this might be tech you don't use very often, but you'll really want it to be ready when you do need it. Just a little tweak to the setup I think could make that use just a bit easier. That small usability criticism aside, these things have been great. I really feel that this will help manage my personal ear issues, and we have a tool we can use if my wife or my daughter have a problem in the future. And you have options for your own care or your family's care. So I will of course leave some links under this video for more information on BeBird cameras, where you might be able to shop these kits online. It was a bit weird. I think we made it through okay. Nothing too disastrous or too gross in this presentation, because ears get funky. And I love digging in, pun intended, I love digging into new gadgets, especially health tech that might not always get the same kind of consideration on our consumer electronics channels. And the people who get to see my coverage first, my reviews first, are my awesome patrons. All of the people over on patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy, a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. This list of names scrolling by on your screen right now, these are folks directly contributing, helping to keep the lights on here in the Gadget Lab. My videos and reviews and editorials would not be possible without their support. They're basically the coolest collection of tech pals in the universe. So I hope you'll check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy, basically everywhere, but these days, trying to spend a bit more time on the Mastodons, a little on the Blueskis, a lot less so on the Facebooks and Instagrams and Threads, definitely not on that dumpster fire site, and I will catch you all on the next review.